Begin what? Oh my god, this is confusing. It's not a Bumble or a Tinder. It ended just like that. Why should it be inside housing.com? Hey everyone, today I'm back with another case study review, and this one is very close to my heart. You'll get to know in a while why is it close to my heart. And if you also want your case study to be reviewed in this channel in a video like this, then join my community at nas.io. The link is in the description, nas.io/sapta. And here you will have a relevant forum which is about showcasing design portfolio, and a lot of you have put your links out there. And every week I pick one of those case studies and I review there. So if you want it to be reviewed, join the community and drop your link out there. And today I'm going to review the case study by Shruti Sharma. Before we begin, I would like to call out that a portfolio alone cannot get you a job because there are steps after that. A portfolio can at best get you an interview, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here today. I'm going to review this case study as if it was a real case study that had come to me, and at the end I will also share my verdict if I would call Shruti for an interview for the role of a product designer 1 or not. And I would also like to call out that all the thoughts that I share, the feedback that I give, the opinions that I share are my own personal, and it doesn't reflect the opinion of my present employer Swiggy or any other company that I might work for in the future. So let's get started with Shruti's case study, and yes, I have her consent to review it on a video like this. So let's get right to business. So this is the portfolio website of Shruti Sharma, product and graphic designer. Now this is built over Framer.website. So it's a website of her own, which is good. It's good to have a website in general, but the presence or the absence of a personal website doesn't determine whether you get selected for an interview or not. It's just the work, right? Website, it's your choice if you want to have it. But if you really want to make one, you can try out Framer.website because it's very easy. It's like Figma, but then with the click of a button, it also becomes a real website. So you can try that out if you want. So that's her portfolio is, and I'm going to review this case study. Of course, she has 2 case studies in it. I usually pick up the first one, which is present in the portfolio when nothing is said about which one I should pick up. So I'm going to pick up this. And by now, I think some of you have figured out why this is close to my heart. It's close to my heart because this is, I believe it's a pet project. And this is an additional feature that Shruti has designed on the app housing.com. Now it's close to my heart because my first design job was also in housing.com. So yeah, that's what makes it special. So let's go ahead and view the case study out here. So here it is. It starts with one hero image, which covers the full screen. It shows me the screenshots of what she has made, which is good. It gives me a sense of what I'm going to see, what I'm going to what I'm signing up for, but I don't see any title or heading. It starts with an overview about the project directly, which is okay, but some kind of heading at the top, title which says what it is, I think would have made it better. But anyways, let's see what's there after this. Overview about the project, whether you move to a new city or looking for a flatmate like Rachel, friend's reference. We know that finding a roommate or flatmate can get stressful, of course. Finding a roommate who would love to randomly watch old episodes of your favorite TV series or someone who loves dogs as much as you do is challenging, but matching interests and hobbies perhaps. It is tedious to make sure you feel safe and happy in your new apartment. Okay, so this is just some sort of a prologue about what I'm going to get into. Objective: to help users find and freely contact verified potential roommates who would match their desired personalities, lifestyle, schedule, etc. Okay, so for people who are not used to the concept of flatmates, perhaps it's like, in a city like say Bangalore, Bombay and all, where housing can be expensive, a lot of people share their flats, especially people who do not live with their family. They're single, a bachelor or a spinster. So they look for someone who already has a house and who has an extra room so that, they can go and share the flat and of course split the cost. Or if they have a house and which has an extra room, they search for other flatmates who can come and start living in that house and of course split the cost. So that's what a flat sharing concept is. And of course, finding the right flat and the right flatmate could both be very tedious task. So let's go ahead and see. Objective we have read. Project timeline 20 days. Okay. My role UX researcher, UI UX design. I mean, why is this alignment of this is off? I think that's some problem with Framer, I guess. If I just reduce the size of it like this, yeah, looks like should have given it an absolute instead of relative. So, it is not. Anyways, Shruti, if you're watching this, I think you should go and fix this. Product chosen housing. Housing.com is India's most innovative real estate advertising platform for homeowners, landlords, developers, and real estate brokers. Sure, it's also a place where you can go and find houses. It's not just for homeowners, landlords, and developers. It's also for people who are looking to rent a house or buy a house. They can go search for it and connect with them and also, right? So that's what housing is. So she's building a feature within housing. HMW statement. Now, HMW, for people who do not know, is how might we? Okay, so let's go ahead and read this first, and then I'll tell you about what HMW or how might we is. How might we design a feature to find roommates with similar interest and lifestyle schedule for college students and young working professionals who have recently moved to a new city and are looking to share room house in a PG hostel or apartment? Okay, so this in a way is what she's going to do. So coming back to what how might we is exactly this. So it is said from the first person of the designer or the team who was designing, how might we design something or how might we do something? Usually HMW statements are split into smaller sections. So here what she has done is she has put everything together. So it feels more like, what you want to do, not really a problem statement, but a reaction to the problem statement, the things that you want to do, right? Usually it is split up. So it could be how might we connect with the right flatmate who shares the same interest? How might we design something which shows the house in its full capacity where I get to see all the details, whatever, right? So there can be multiple how might we's associated with the project. You would have seen a lot of designers putting out a lot of sticky notes on walls, and you always probably wondered what are written on this. In many cases, the HMW statements, each HMW statement is written in each of the sticky notes. But of course, sticky notes are also used for many other purposes. So I'm just explaining what HMW is. If you don't know what it is, if you still don't understand what it is, do not use it. It's totally fine, right? So it is just a name in a way. It is about what you are going to do, right? All right. Research, understanding the market and the users. I conducted research in two phases, secondary research and primary research. Primary research is the research that you actually do when you go and meet real users. You talk to them, you understand their pain points, you understand what they want, what they don't want and all. That's primary research when you're actually talking or interacting with the people and getting insights. Secondary research is when you're reading somebody else's report. So somebody else had done a primary research and they have published a report for a similar thing perhaps. And then when you read the report, you also get some learnings and insights. That is called secondary research because you have indirectly, gotten insights and not directly. That's what secondary research is. Okay. Besides my personal experience, I conducted research to understand the problem and user pain points and motivations better. I defined my target user and research objectives to structure my research. Okay, that's it. Let's see what research goal is. I aim to find the mainly used product and methods by users to find a roommate, whether they move to a new city, and to know the pain points and frustrations. Okay, so I like this part where she has, called out that, okay, she's doing a research, but what is the research? What's the goal of this research? So she has written it down clearly, which is nice. I also aim to find out the major factors that affect the decision-making while looking for a potential roommate. Okay, secondary research. For secondary research, she has done a competitor analysis. Okay, I conducted secondary research to gain more insights on existing products in the market. What key features? Okay, I began my market with 4 competitors: Flatmate, Roomster, Spare Room, and Roomy. I've not heard of any of them, so I'm pretty sure they're there. I don't know if all of them are Indian. Some of them could even be, apps outside. But Flatmate looks like it's Indian because it says flatmate.in. So I guess it's Indian. This helped me to identify the areas where housing could improve and how any new feature could be introduced. Housing could improve? Does housing already have a room sharing sort of thing in it? I do not know because I moved on from housing around 8 years back. I don't know how the product evolved after that. That part is not clear because you have spoken about how it could improve. So improve means something already exists and how any new feature could be introduced. But if it is a redesign of an existing thing, you should call out. So that's why I think it's important that you call out the problem statement at the top, what exactly you're doing. Yep, I think that's an improvement that you can do out here. All these products are similar product offering, but Share Room and Roomy are currently not available. This are not available in India. She's called it out. So this is a competitor analysis. Okay, she has done, I think, a detailed pros and cons, what are the USP is and everything. Okay, I'll kind of skip it and I will see if she has an analysis at the bottom. User reviews. I looked at the user reviews on Play Store for different competitor apps to get more insights on user pain points. I think this is a great idea. Anyone who is, either redesigning something or trying to build something similar which already exists in the market, go read the reviews, because you can set a filter for 1-star or 2-star reviews and then see what exactly is not right, so that whenever you are making a similar product or you are improving it, you do not make the same mistakes. If they are product reasons, right? There could be many operational reasons as well, which are not the scope of design, but yeah, you get it, right? So she has put a screenshot of those, which is great. And she has also given a summary of what is being said in the screenshot. Good. I think that's a UX of the UX case studies on point here, so that, I don't have to read through all of them. I just know this, I know what it is. So it looks like fake listings is a problem. Of course, I personally have faced it. I see a nice looking house out there and then I contact, they say that, hey, this house is gone, but I have some other house. Would you want to see it? Well, not really fake, but it's a misguided listing out there. Maybe that is good looking, but what they're going to show me is not good, right? So I've seen something similar happening. All right, listings are not updated. So listings are not updated. Something could be old, maybe 6 months old or something. Okay. Paid subscriptions are not worth. Okay. So there's a layer of payment also, I believe, which is going to come. Very time consuming. Of course, finding a house or a flatmate is always a time consuming. So these are the pain points, right? Defining the problem statement. Okay. Finally, we are talking about problem statement. I was hoping to see it somewhere at the top, but I guess she wanted to do some secondary research to better define what the problem statement is, right? Okay. The main challenge while looking for a flatmate or a roommate online is finding genuine profiles, finding genuine people. The user's fears getting into a scam. Okay. The profiles online do not have complete information and are not verified or fake. Okay, English, you might want to check. It feels like they're either not verified or not fake. Okay, just look at the grammar ones. It is very time consuming for someone who has recently moved to a new city, as the listings are not regularly updated. Okay. Some users find it difficult to initiate a conversation with a person they have no details about, but could be potential roommate. Well, the thing is, she's talking about just roommates, but not about the house. So is it just about connecting with another person with no question of the flat or the house that they're going to share? I think that part is not clear. The problem statement isn't covering that fully, I would say. So, okay, let's see if it covers in the rest of the case study. Primary research. Okay, now she has done some primary research, user surveys and interviews. The primary research I made is survey forms, okay, which was floated with maybe potential users. Okay, and who are these potential users? Okay, you might have figured something out. Through surveys, I picked up my target users and did a personal interview with them. Out of 26 survey responses, I picked 4 users and conducted personal interviews with them to get insights into the major pain points. Okay, for a case study point of view, I think 4 is okay. But then when you're doing it for a real company, when you're working for a business, 4 is too less. You'll have to speak to at least 10, 15 users to see some sort of a pattern that you can conclude any insight as true, right? User surveys and interview objectives. What are the user pain points and major concerns while looking for a roommate online? Again, we are still talking about roommates, right? Okay. What are the major aspects that influence decision making? What are the different methods that people use to find a roommate? And what is the scope for improvement? All right. Now that you're talking about this, you have done a competitive analysis as well. I feel you have missed out a very, very, very important competition, which is nothing but the Facebook groups. Most of the users end up finding a flat or a flatmate from Facebook groups. Every city has got multiple Facebook groups at times, for a particular area and so on. I remember, many years back when I was in Bombay, when I used to work for housing.com, there was a Powai flat and flat share. I used to live in Powai, which is a locality in Bombay. And there people would post with their requirements or, flats if they have. They would post the pictures of the flats. Hey, I have this one room is up for grab. They would write about their preferences and people would comment, hey, is it still there? I would want to come and see it today, 3 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever, right? So everything was happening in Facebook group. That part is totally not here. And my sources tell me, or sources rather, my colleagues who still maybe share flats and all, they've told me that the Facebook groups are still very much prevalent in every city. So I don't see it here because that I believe is one of the biggest competition to the product that you are making inside housing.com. Okay. Target users. Gender, male or female, age between 18 to 30, employment, student or salaried employee. Okay, so she's divided the target users into 3 groups. 18 to 22, maybe college students, mostly looking for economical accommodations like PG hostel and all, of course, because they're earning probably lesser, right? Newcomer, there are also newcomers. I believe this card is for this. Okay, newcomer, a person who has recently moved to a city. Is that so, or are these independent, right? 23 to 2. Okay. I think they're not connected. What I believe is 23 to 27 years, recently employed, looking for a slightly bigger apartment according to their budget, and 28 plus years are looking for furnished and stable apartments. So I think that's an assumption that she has made. And all this thing, I believe that the things which are mentioned in the yellow cards could be valid for any one of them. An 18 to 22 years old could also be busy, could also be skeptical, could also be a newcomer. And same is for everyone. A 28 plus years person could also be a newcomer in a new city and so on. So I think these are the various combinations that could happen. But, some amount of clarity would have been better because she just put 6 cards out there. And my first instinct was to connect the 2 cards which are close to each other, one after another, right? Maybe law of proximity kicking in or something. Anyways. User surveys method was Google Form 26. Okay, I got it. Key insights from primary research. Yes, that's what I'm interested in. Hygiene. Yes, hygiene is important. Sleep schedules and noise levels are the top priorities of people when looking for a flatmate. Okay, yes, noise levels, I can understand. Sleep schedules, why really sleep schedules? Noise levels, I can understand. Okay, if you're sharing a room, if 2 people are sleeping in the same room, then maybe sleep schedules could mean something. Okay, users like to live with someone they already know, so they try to get roommate references from friends and family. Yes, some sort of a network effect, right? When you have some sort of social proofing that, this person is good or this person is hygienic and all. People like to have some basic information, background check about the person before they initiate a conversation with them. Fair enough. Housing.com and NoBroker are the most used apps by the users. So again, I'm not clear. Housing.com and NoBroker are, of course, preferred apps for finding a house. But does it mean that housing already has a way in which you can find flatmates as well? That's why I think, there are some information which are missing in the initial overview and context that she has set. That's why, I'm at a fix right now. I'm not able to understand what exactly she's trying to build. Okay. Users have trust issues on the genuinity of people online. Okay. Pain points. Postings are not regularly updated. Okay. Not enough details. Okay. Difficult to find a person with similar desired hobby and stuff. Okay. Time consuming. User feels hesitant in initiating a conversation. Okay, a lot of spam pings on apps, and some people try to make it a dating app. Okay, all right, I can sense what you're talking about. A lot of fake postings on online app. Fake postings. Okay, all right. User personas. I created 2 user personas based on the user responses. Okay, derived user preferences from interview responses, helping to understand user better and build empathy. Okay. Are you Arushi Gupta? Arav Jain. Okay, let's see what it is. Goals to get a house within their budget near to the office. Wants to see images and basic details about the property before actually visiting it. Okay, so she's actually talking about property, finally. All right. Find a flatmate who has interest, hobby similar to her. Okay. To find the appropriate room and appropriate roommate. Okay. Frustrations, too many fake house listings. The listings are not updated, so it wastes a lot of time. She is little hesitant in initiating conversation. Okay. To get a flatmate with similar work and sleep schedules to avoid conflicts as he works from home on most. I want to get a flatmate as soon as possible. Irrelevant pings for flatmates. Frustrations. People don't share complete profile details. Different work and sleep schedules among flatmates causing a lot of disagreements in the house. Okay. Difficult to find a platform where we can get verified profiles in the room. Okay. Now that I look at it, right? Some of these are very obvious, right? Fake listings, you mentioned it under Arushi Gupta, but then does it mean Arav Jain is fine with fake listings? Not really. Some of these are like basic needed. Nobody likes fake listings. What it feels like is, you had a list of frustrations and a list of goals. You just divided them between 2 people, right? And also, on what basis did you pick it up? Because I also see you have put personality traits. This person is maybe 20% introvert, 30% intuitive, and same with this person, it's like maybe 80% extrovert or whatever, right? On what basis did you find this out? This looks like, you've got some template for a user persona and then you've just tried to fill it with a lot of things, right? You see, you've already done a good job at doing a segmentation of the user, other than that, clarity as to what this newcomer skeptical is. But this is a good enough thing where you have put all the details about the target user. You need not have done this, because you see, persona building is a huge task. It takes months. I have seen it happening at Swiggy. There's a dedicated research team who meets lots and lots of people, and then they try to see pattern. They see that, okay, these are the patterns which are happening across different kinds of users. That's how they do the grouping, and that's how they figure out some of these things. By speaking to 4 persons, you cannot really call out that, one half of your users are introvert. It's probably too much. It's probably stretching too much, right? So persona building needs a lot more research, a lot more syncing up with users before you can come up with such granular details that you have mentioned out here. Okay. And secondly, you have done a fairly good job at the top out here in the target user section. You could have simply skipped this part. Yeah. Okay. All right. Customer journey maps. Mapping the customer journey map was insightful. It helped me empathize with the user and define the pain points. Okay. Click here to see. I'm not going to go inside that, but it's good that you have put it out there, because, if someone is interested, they will just go and check, right? Ideation, creating solution for the problem. Awesome. Let's see. Mapping the customer journey map was very insightful. Good. It helped me to empathize with the user and define their pain points. Getting transparency on the user thoughts and actions while looking for a roommate gave me an opportunity to know user behavior. Okay, major pain points. Based on the pain points, I came up with a few solutions which might solve the problem. Okay, let's see. 1, 2. Okay, so what she has done is she has taken a pain point first approach. She has identified some of the pain points, and for each pain point, she has given a solution, and she has also shown it. So it's a nice way of putting it out. I like it. Let's see, if the entire story stitches up at the end, right? Otherwise, this is a good approach to do it. Let's see. Pain point, a lot of fake postings on online apps. Solution, verify mobile number, email ID, and upload a photo ID for proof. Which platform lets you post a listing without verifying your mobile number and email ID? Is there any platform? Because I believe, if you want to post anywhere, the basic thing that you'll have to do is create an account, sign up, which is usually using an email ID and a mobile number. So how is verification of mobile number and email ID a way to remove fake postings? I don't see the point there. Okay, photo ID, maybe, if someone has put something fake, I can maybe, do some legal action against them. Okay, all right. So this is nothing but the OTP sign up process. Okay, this video is going a little too fast, which I'm not able to fully look at. So there's an ID proof that you pick. Okay, can I pause it? No, I cannot. I cannot pause it. Okay, maybe I will see it later. I'll get there. Pain point. The user finds it difficult to find a person with similar desired personality, hobbies, lifestyle, schedule, etc. Okay, how much of is that important, right? See, you're not marrying this person, right? You're just sharing a house. So what are the things that are needed to have a, good enough life with your roommate, right? Is it necessary to have similar hobbies, right? Or I understand some of the things like hygiene and all are important, because if the other person is not hygienic, they'll probably mess up the entire house, and that's going to affect your life as well. But what if the person has different hobbies than you? Is that really a deal breaker for you, right? Some of these things, I would want to question. So if I call Shruti for an interview, these are definitely some of the things that I will discuss. That what made you feel that some of these things are even essential to share a room or share a flat with somebody, right? Some basic things are definitely yes. Okay. Solution for lifestyle preferences, predefine lifestyle-based questions to be asked while setting up a profile, which will help in relevant. Okay, filters to get recommendations. Okay. Sure. Okay, night owl, vegetarian. Okay, it could be as simple as that, say maybe I'm a vegetarian, but I'm fine with having a non-vegetarian flatmate. How is the matching going to happen? That part I'm not very sure about. Let's see if you have done something out there. For personality compatibility, oh wow, okay, she's taken one step ahead. Fun question-based games to test personality compatibility with any user to see how well the both users can be as roommates. This kind of test, of course, even I have taken as a part of my professional job, but these tests needs to be designed by a professional, the kind of question that you ask, which would give the results correctly. So even if you assume that you have done it, you've said that the games are fun and interactive way. Sure, it's fun, but it also means, answering way too many questions, because a real test like this can have as many as 40 to 50 questions, which can be really frustrating to fill while onboarding into an app. Okay. All right. So, so the thing is, if you want to keep it fun and interactive, the test needs to be smaller. And if it is smaller, it is probably not doing the right job of analyzing your personality. So it's that chicken and egg problem. So how do you plan to scale it? Definitely a point of discussion that I would want to do with Shruti if I call her for an interview. Okay. The responses are not shared with the other users so that the responses are true and unbiased. Other user. Okay, I think I'll have to look into the flow. All that I'm seeing is the solution to the problem. I'll have to look at the entire flow to understand what is happening. Okay. Pain point, the user feels hesitant in initiating a conversation with a potential roommate. A lot of spam messages pings on the app as people trying to make it a dating app. Okay, let's see what the solutions are. Limit free messaging to potential roommates to 3 different users. Okay, so I can only send message requests to 3 potential roommates and not beyond that. Beyond that, I'll have to pay some money. Looks like it, right? For messaging more users, you'll have to pay a premium feature price. It'll avoid random messages and create a healthy environment on the app and take care of the business aspect as well. Okay, so is it just about sending messages? So if I really have the intent of making it a dating app, because I see that, making it a dating app is something that you've been calling all the time. How are you really removing that? Like the first part, the user feel hesitant in initiating a conversation. So for that, a template messages definitely help, hey, how are you doing? And also it just, much easier than typing out the messages for people who are hesitant, right? But for the other one, the spam pings and all, sure, you're limiting it to 3, but then if I really have the intent to make it a dating app, I might as well pay. Because if you look at it, all the things that you mentioned since the beginning, right, could be, verification using your Aadhaar card or PAN card. They are just ensuring that I'm a real person and not a fake person. But even a real person can ask people out for a date in this app. That is not illegal, right? So there are no legal proceedings that can be done even though you have my Aadhaar details or something, because, I haven't done anything illegal perhaps. Of course, if I speak in a certain language, if I show certain images, that could be counted as maybe harassing. That is a crime. But if it's a chat, people can speak about anything as long as it's respectful, right? So I don't know if some of the solutions that you mentioned can actually avoid making it a dating app. What could have been done is, I'm assuming that, since you have called it a dating app, a lot of these advances are probably coming from the people of opposite gender. In that case, a simple option which says that, accept roomie requests or potential roomie requests only from a certain gender. For example, if I'm a male and I just want to share flat with another male, I'd probably say, get requests only for male. Or I can say, do not get requests from female and the other genders are fine, or something like that, right? So I don't know if this is the right solution to that pain point. Okay. All right. Let's see. The subscription options are not for a year because thorough research, of course, you don't search house for a year or you don't search flatmate for a year, right? So yeah, 2 to 3 months or perhaps even shorter is good enough. Solution. So this is a solution for what? Which pain point is being okay. So there's a pain point number 3. There's a solution here. Okay, so there's an extension of the solution. Okay, there's an extension of the solution. Receive messages from users only you accept requests from. Okay, that's a fair thing, right? You can view the user profile and make a decision if you would like to receive messages from a particular user. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point, right? Okay, it says roomie requests and then there are accept and reject. Okay, so here is the thing, right? If I compare it with something we already know, say Facebook. What's a friend request? When someone says, hey, can I be your friend? And then if you accept, you become friends. Here you're calling it roomie request. Roomie is nothing but roommate, right? So if someone sends me a roomie request and I accept, does it mean we become roomies? No, not really, right? This is just a message request. So I think the copy roomie request probably is misguiding. You should think about it because these are just message requests, right? Because if you accept a roomie request, you become roomies technically. Fourth pain point is not enough detail are available on the listing profiles of users. The user wants a basic background. Okay. Mandatory questions to be answered while creating the profile and lifestyle and personality. Okay, makes sense. Based questions for completing the profile. Okay, good. Options to link social media. Okay, so that you can go and check out the social life as well. That's good. Fifth pain point is the process of finding a roommate is very time consuming. So when a user moves to a new city or is planning to move, they want a quick result. So what have you done here for quick results? Get complete details of your saved profiles, contacted profiles, and search profiles to keep a track of the profiles you are on top of your list. Okay. The user can also quickly make an app, voice and video calls with the potential roomies. Will save a lot of time. Okay. All right. Here also I have some questions. Right. Let's firstly, again, you're calling in my roomies. They're not your roomies yet. They're potential roomies. They could be your roomies in the future, right? So maybe calling them my roomies are not the right thing to do out here. Saved profiles I can understand. Contacted profiles also I understand. Search profiles also I understand. Again, but here's another feedback, in saved profiles, why use the purple icon? Because it's messing up with the selected versus not selected state. If the not selected state is grayscale, black and white, just keep it that way. Bringing color out here just mixes up with, okay, is it selected, not selected? Yeah, just a usability feedback out here. Now coming to this, when people say that it's very time consuming, people talk about the process of, or what I believe is people talk about the process of finding a house and the right flatmate. That process can be long. But the solutions that you mentioned, it is about saving maybe time within the app. Do I want to quickly see who are the people I've shortlisted? I will tap on a button and I will see, right? So yes, you're making it slightly faster in the app usage, but it's probably not the time consuming part that people talk about. Okay. It's about finding the right people itself. Okay, let's see. Sixth one is a pain point. The listings are not updated. Okay, so it wastes a lot of time contacting the user and finding out. Okay, let's see. Solution continuous reminders after a month or even 15 days. Okay, that's a good thing. You posted a roommate requirement 30 days ago. Are you still looking for one? Okay, that's a good point. That's a good thing to do. Solution not considered. Giving rating to the users based on your experience. Of course. No, because it can become biased. It's very subjective in nature. A user might not be a perfect match for me, but can be a perfect match for another user. Fair enough. Or the user might want to take revenge. Okay, sure. I think these are all valid points. But another reason why rating probably doesn't make sense is because ratings make sense only when the number of ratings are high. Let's take a restaurant, for example. If a restaurant is rated 4.9, but is rated just by 2 people, it's an average of 2 people rating, doesn't make sense because, you don't really know if it's good or not. It could be just 2 outliers who have given a good rating. It starts making sense when the numbers are larger. It's a rating of 4.6, but rated by 500 people, 600 people, 1,000 people. That's when it makes sense. Here, if you see, it will never reach a point that a person will get so many ratings. You will at best talk to finite number of people, 5, 6, 7. And from 7 ratings, it is not conclusive if the rating does even make sense or say anything about the person, right? Of course, there should be an option to block someone if someone is disrespectful, which I believe you already have. Since the major issues is hygiene, according to the user research, give house cleaning reminders to the user so that the roommate doesn't have feel awkward in saying it. Sorry, what is this? Since the major issue is hygiene, according to user research, okay, give house cleaning reminders to users so that the roommate doesn't have to feel awkward in saying it. No, because people will not really see the notification. Once the roommate is found, who will use housing this feature? No, they'll probably make a WhatsApp group or something. And there, hey, let's buy groceries today or let's clean the house today. Of course, good that you shot down that feature, okay? Sitemap. Finally, somebody used the word sitemap. Everyone uses information architecture, which is not right. Okay, sitemap. Let's see what the sitemap is. Okay. Housing.com, of course. Sure. So my guess was right. It's a feature within housing.com. So there is a home search where you search for home for buying or renting. There's a flatmate or roommate search. This yellow thing is, I think, what Shruti has designed now, which is the new one. That's why it's in yellow, I believe. Pay on credit, home related services. I think these are other existing things that housing.com already has. Okay. All right. So here, once someone comes inside, there's a new user. They'll have to sign up. Okay, who is this being made for? The sitemap helped to streamline the development process. Okay, it's not called out. So first of all, this new user, is this a housing new user or a your features new user? Because then things would be different. Because if someone is in housing, there could be an old user of housing, but a new user to this feature because it's a new feature that you're introducing, right? So sign up, should it be here or should sign up be at a global level, right? Okay, let's have a look. Assuming that, someone just downloaded the app, may or may not be a housing user. The first thing that they click on is a roommate or flatmate search. So to proceed further, you want them to sign up is what I'm assuming. Okay, sign up, verify mobile, upload photo KYC, set up your profile. Okay, set up your profile probably will involve this. So the way I'm looking at this, signing up for housing will need certain things, maybe logging in with your mobile number or your email ID or maybe even your Aadhaar card. But all the other personality tests and stuff that you're talking about is relevant only for Flatmate. If I'm buying a house in home search and all, I don't need to take a personality test. That's none of housing's business, right? So that way, some of these are very specific to this feature, whereas some other things are global. I don't really see the split up out here. Okay. Existing users will log in. Okay. So after setting up your profile, you will search for a roommate. Okay. If you search for a roommate, after you search for a roommate, you add lifestyle preferences. Isn't that setting up profile is? Isn't that's what set up the profile was, where you add your lifestyle preferences and all? Like that's when the profile is created, isn't it? See profile recommendations. And why do I have to search for a roommate to find lifestyle preferences? And how do I search for a roommate? On what basis will I search for a roommate, right? Their name or the house details. Maybe I'm looking for a 2 BHK to share. I'll search for 2 BHK and then I will see the list of all the people who have a 2 BHK with an extra room which is empty. That part isn't very clear here. Okay. After I search for a roommate, I can play personality compatibility test game. Shouldn't these be all global things that, while you're creating the profile? Because see, why do I need to search for a roommate to do that? If there is a step for setting up your profile, since you already have one, my personality or compatibility test can happen out there, because my personality is not going to change based on a search. If I am A, I will remain an A. My personality is not going to change, right? Okay, I don't think I fully understand this section. So I'm just going to leave that aside and I'll see, once I see the flow, how it is. Okay. Interface design. I created low fidelity wireframe to quickly sketch out and explore various design ideas and concepts. Wireframes are flexible. Okay. She's explaining what wireframes are, fine. Then with the help of wireframes, I design interface screens for housing.com for new users. Click here to see the complete set of wireframes. No, thanks. Wireframes are your internal process. You have done whatever you did with a wireframe. Keep it to yourself. Click here to see the detailed prototype. Sure, I will see the detailed prototype, but okay, let's see the prototype. Actually, I'll just open it in a new tab out here. It's a Figma prototype. It's loading. Okay, welcome to housing.com. While I was shortlisting this portfolio, I also downloaded housing.com and I was just seeing out what the app is in the present form. A first-time user, they see this, right? It's just a first time, more of an onboarding to understand what the user wants, right? So here, I think roommate search is the thing which is there. So I click on roommate search and it's asking me to log in. So it's a use case, when someone just downloaded the app, they've come here and their single intent is roommate search here. So I click on the roommate search. Other features also I can click, but I don't need to do it right now. So roommate search, it's asking me to sign up. Okay. It's asking me to sign up, but what I feel is, okay, post search for potential roommates. Okay, one line description is there. I enter my phone number, I get OTP, I do a next. Here I enter my email ID and I set a password. Okay, all right. It's a part of verification. Then enter your details. Okay, full name, location, job title, date of birth, gender, available to move in from. Okay, let's see. What is the location out here? It says Golf Links Delhi, which means, a locality in Delhi. Is this a location where I'm looking for a house, or is this a location where I live presently and I would be looking for a house in some other place? This simply location isn't quite helping out, because, if it is indeed the location where I am searching for a house, then people usually search for multiple localities. Nobody searches that I want only in this locality. They usually have 2-3 localities in mind, which is probably around their workplace or something that you have mentioned in your, the target user group as well. But then here it is just one locality, and you also have a GPS. So it feels like your present location. Okay, so it's your present location. Not sure how that is useful out here, right? Available to move in from. Okay. First of all, another thing that is not very clear is when I'm entering my details, am I someone who already has a flat with an empty room and I'm looking for a flatmate, or I'm looking for a house as well as a flatmate? So if someone else has a flat with an empty room where I can move in, that part isn't clear here. Do I already have a house or do I not have a house, right? Unclear. Okay, let's go ahead and click next. Upload a photo. Okay, I upload a photo and I add a bio and maybe social links as well. And then I click next. Okay, this is where I do that, right? Photo ID. So I can pick maybe Aadhaar card or something. Then I submit. Then I'm landed into the homepage of what? Housing. But here I see just the new feature. Where are the other features of housing? How do you go back? The first screen that you had made, what I've seen in housing is whenever you go to any service, you have a tab to go back to the other services. So for example, if I'm in buy, I can always switch this tab and go to rent, commercial, PG or plot or whatever it is, right? But here I don't see that. So my question is, how does someone get back to that? Because this looks like a new app which is just about finding flatmates. So how does someone go back, right? Okay, let's try just doing here. Go to lifestyle preferences, right? Complete your lifestyle preferences to help us find you the perfect roommate. So okay, someone who has not set the lifestyle preferences yet, so you can maybe take house budget, then choose your house preference, which is 2 BHK. I keep it moderately clean. Okay, what are your working hours? Like I said, so for some of these questions, if I call Shruti for an interview, I would definitely ask, why are some of these things relevant, right? If we are sleeping in the same room, then yes, maybe some of these are. But if not, if I'm just occupying another room, maybe some of these are not even relevant. So until you know what kind of house I have or what kind of house I'm looking for, some of these questions aren't even relevant, right? All right, let's see next. Okay, when are you most productive? Again, how does it matter? How does it matter? For a roommate, select your diet choice, right? I think here the question would be, another question that could be added was, okay, even if you're a vegetarian, maybe you're fine with someone, a vegetarian or a vegan or a non-vegetarian. So how will the matching happen? So that's what is not clear out here. So I have serious doubts on the questions. Do you like to party? Sure. Twice a week. How about daily? But if I'm not partying in the house, I'm partying outside. How does it matter for a flatmate, right? I have doubts in all these questions. Anyways, right? So let's click on show recommendations. And I see recommendations of people based on some of the filters that I have set, right? Okay. Roomie request. So if I click on any of them, I will send a roomie request. By seeing what? I can see just the name, Veronica DeCosta, Sake, Delhi. I know gender, I know age, I know occupation, and I know the budget. On what basis will I send a roomie request? Because I don't even know what the house is. Maybe, okay, a 26-year-old female who's a software engineer sounds like a person I can share my room with, but then I don't even know how the house is. On what basis will I send a roomie request, right? Again, if I call Shruti for an interview, I would definitely want to ask, on what basis will I pick Veronica over Mira, over Kiara, or anybody? Okay, let's go ahead and see. If I click on roomie request. Okay, if I click on roomie request, you're showing me the profile. And why have the button out there? You can simply say show more or show more details or something, right? Okay, all right. So that copy needs to be changed outside because the roomie request button, that data is not enough for me to take a decision if I were to send a request to Veronica, right? All right, so here there are some more details. Okay, Veronica, monthly household budget, she has called it out. Available from. So does it mean that the house that she is living in is available from 15th of April 2023? Minimum stay 6 months. So you'll have to stay at least 6 months in that house. Working hours is 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Okay, mostly early bird sleeping. Okay, diet choice, vegetarian, hygiene, all those things are there. But where is the pictures of that house? Where is the location of that house? Okay, maybe Saket, but I believe Saket is a big area, right? It just says available from 15th April. And I'm assuming it's that the house is available from 15th April. Or is she available from 15th April? Why would it be available from? Then it should be like need a house from 15th April or something, right? Man, this is confusing. Because what I'm understanding from here is she has a house. Veronica has a house where I can go and stay and share her flat or whatever, which is available from 15th April. But I see no details of the house. On what basis will I send a roomie request to Veronica? That is not clear. I don't know how. Okay, let's click on Rumi. Okay, I can just close. Okay, find the prototype, I guess. All right, let's see what else is there. Then in the requests tab, it says the same screen. Rumi requests is the requests, sent requests. Okay, requests and sent requests are not two words. It could be maybe received requests and sent requests, right? Or you could simply say Rumi requests at the top, sent and received. Okay, what happens if I view profile? The same thing opens up again. Okay, I can accept. Okay, then okay, are in these chats? I can. Okay, maybe it is just a prototype thing. Get psyched. Let's see what get psyched is. How well your personality matches with your potential roommates. Okay, get started. Choose a roomie you want to begin with. Begin what? Okay, let's see. Aisha Banerjee, Vishakha Jain. Okay, let's see full profile. This is Aisha Banerjee. I see some options. It says get psyched, whereas the previous one said sent roomie request. Okay, this is confusing. Let's see what get psyched. Get psyched. Just answer a few fun questions and get your personality compatible percentage. Okay. Okay, so this looks like a case where I haven't taken, but why do I have to pick a person to take the test? The test is my own thing. It's not a Ludo that I'm playing that, two people play together. It's not a duel. It's a personality test from the question that I had seen. Okay, let's see what happens. Take test. Mark your answers based on how well each statement describes you. There's a thing called remember my responses. Of course, this should have been a part of profile building, right? I try not to draw attention to myself. Okay, these are same personality test questions. I think there's a series of questions which are there, right? Okay, let me maybe just fill it up. Show results. It says your personality compatibility 70% with the person, right? Your personality complements each other well. You can make great roommates. Okay, then shouldn't there be a button which says, okay, send a roomie request or something? I don't see anything. All that I see is to close and get back to the screen. And do what? Now what can I do out here? I click on it. I have an option to get psyched again. And also, why do I have to pick a roomie to take my personality test? A personality test should be a part of my profile. I take it once, maybe during setting up or sometime later if you keep nudging me, hey, take the test, because people who have taken the test has a higher probability of finding roomies or something. And then when I click on any one or actually I don't even have to click. Maybe you can directly show the number based on the test that I have taken. That, you match 70% with Aisha Banerjee. You match 60% with Vishakha Jain, 10% with Shreya Singh. Then that number is an indicator that the person matches, right? So that would be a better thing to do in my opinion. But I don't see it here. Why do I have to pick a person to take the test? Anyways, let's maybe get back and see what else is there. There's a tab called Roomies. Okay, there's a tab called Roomies. Is this where I get messages? Here's an option. My Roomies. Oh my God, this is confusing. Should I not take the test first and then send a roomie request and then this person comes here? Okay, what do you mean by my roomies? Aren't these open chats? Because if I remember, if I close this, I also see one chat option at the top. Why is chat different from my roomies? Like, what else do I do with my roomies? Why cannot be, I click on chat and then, maybe I click on the profile section and then I see the profile, because it feels like, you're trying to mimic the friend request thing in Facebook, where I can be friends with someone and never send a message because Facebook have too many other things. I have a wall, I have a feed, you go check. But here there is nothing else. I get nothing by adding someone as a roomie if I do not chat with that person, right? Because I can see their profile anyways. So what's the point of calling my roomies as one level of thing and then chat request or chat as another level of thing? I think this could have been much more simplified, okay? All right, so I think, okay, that's it. That's the prototype. Let's get back to the case study again. Number 5 is usability testing and refining the ideas, okay? Usability testing was an important step in the development process. Okay, I recruited 4 participants, the same 4, perhaps, who matched my target user demographics to test the high fidelity prototype. I encouraged them to think out loud. Okay, I took notes. Okay, all the steps are done right there. Testing objectives. What are the specific difficulties that user encounter or any usability issues that may impact confusion over any instruction or CTA or frustration or the prototype? The users didn't get confused over thing, then maybe, some context is missing, but I got confused seeing that. If I had been a part of your test group, I would thoroughly get confused unless you explain me something which is probably not written on the case study. Anyways, are there any improvements in the designing of the UI? Does the prototype meet expectations of the target users? Okay, making iterations. So, this is just usability stuff is what she's talking about. So what are your working hours? Previously, it was a slider. Then she made, makes sense because, sliders would be exact timings I'll have to set rather, morning to evening or evening to night. Those maybe buckets work better, right? Same with sleeping hours, multiple choice option that the users can select as a desired one. After she had given the option to skip this. Let's see. What if I do not have my photo ID accessible with me at the time of sign up, but I still want to sign up and research? Skip for now option is available if the user doesn't have the photo ID accessible at the time of signing up, but will be sent continuous reminders to complete the verification process and will not be able to connect with other users on the app unless verification is complete. I think this is a good step. You're letting them skip, but unless you add the photo ID, we won't let you connect with the person. But I feel the same thing should have happened with your personality test because it's such an important part of your product is what I'm assuming. Why do you have to pick a person? Because it doesn't feel like a game. A game is when two people are doing it together. That's not really the case. All right. Component library. Oh, that's it. It ended. It ended just like that. Okay. All right. I have a lot of questions here, right? I found the prototype confusing. Maybe because the context was not set right on the case study, right? This is a feature on housing.com, which is into house finding or flat buying. But I don't see any context or any mention about flat anywhere. Just one thing that I saw available to move in or something like that. On what basis? Person, of course, I need to find a compatible roommate. But first and the most important thing, I need to find a good house. Only based on that, I will decide whether I send it to Veronica D'Souza or Aisha Banerjee or someone, right? Where is the house? There is no mention about the house itself because that's the most important thing. Or is it just an app which just connects people? It's like nobody has a house here. You just find the right-minded people and then you both set outside and find a house. Is that the case? If that's the case, why is it on housing.com? It is just something which matches two people, and once two people are matched, they can either date, they can get married, they can stay together, they can start a company of their own, or they can pursue a hobby together, right? Why should it be inside housing.com? If it is inside housing.com, I think there's a lot of potential if you could make it work. Okay. Let's come to the most interesting part of this review, which is, will I call Shruti for an interview for the role of product designer 1 based on this case study? And my verdict is no, because there was a lot of UX problems in this case study. Things were not clear. And even the prototypes, I personally found it confusing, right? So it's a no for me. Now, would I call her for an interview for an internship? I think I would call her, yes. Although there are lots of problems with it, but I think she has definitely done some things right. That's why maybe for an internship, I would definitely want to call her for an interview and see if she has answers to some of these questions. Whether she qualifies or converts an internship or not, that's a different story. But for a product designer 1, I think there's a lot to improve out here. Some of the questions which I had raised during, like, are this information enough for me to send a roomie request to this person? It was not clear, right? Now, why can't a test be taken before and compatibility scores be shown beside it, right? That is also not there. On what basis will I pick a random people out there? It's not a friendship or a dating app. The first and the foremost important thing is the house. There is no mention about the house here. I was expecting a place where I could go search for my preference. If I'm looking for maybe a room in a 2 BHK in HSR layout sector 6, maybe I should be able to search that. And then you would show me a list of all the people who have an extra room, in HSR layout sector 6. where I can go and see the pictures of the houses, of course, and also see the profile of the person and do that, whatever percentage personality matching and all. And based on that, I can send a maybe roomie request, chat request, meet, go see the flat. I didn't see any of those things. That's why, from a product point of view, it didn't make sense. Why would someone use it? Right? So here's the advice to Shruti. Shruti, I think you have done an overall good job. But I think the core of the project, which is, why would someone even come here? It's not a Bumble or a Tinder, right? Those parts are missing. Maybe introduce them. And then it becomes a wholesome case study, which will even get you a convert for a product designer 1 interview. All right, so that's all for today. I hope you learned something new. And if you want to get your case study reviewed, join the community nas.io/Sapta. I will leave the link in the description. That's all for today. This is Sapta signing off.